Découvrez Tous, la nouvelle plateforme qui va révolutionner le secteur de la formation en Afrique. Une interface innovante, unique et pratique qui regroupe à la fois social media et digital learning pour apprendre sans limite. Rejoignez gratuitement Tous, le premier réseau social éducatif africain, et formez-vous grâce au contenu des meilleurs formateurs et des plus grandes écoles, quel que soit votre domaine ou votre passion. Participez à des quiz, des classes virtuelles et interagissez avec des experts. Repérez votre future école ou votre prochaine formation en ligne et abonnez-vous à vos pages préférées. Agrandissez votre communauté et donnez un coup de pouce à votre carrière. Suivez, likez, mais surtout apprenez sur touschare.com. Avec Tous, révélez votre talent. Tous, extend your world.
Hello, I am Joseph Rutakangwa, the founder and CEO of Rwazi. Rwazi provides organizations with fresh, on-ground data on products, services, and activities from Africa. And we do this by utilizing a network of mappers who are data collectors spread across villages, towns, municipalities, and major cities across 40 countries in sub-Saharan Africa. The reason we are running Rwazi is to solve a problem of data unavailability in developing countries. Organizations want to invest in developing countries in emerging markets, but they lack on-ground data to inform them how to go about it. But at the same time, we have about 200 million people who are unemployed, they're educated, they have smartphones, they have access to internet, but they're unemployed. They're looking for income generating opportunities across Africa. And this number is only going to increase. By 2050. Africa is going to have the largest workforce in the world, about 1 billion people. So how do we merge this gap? We're merging this gap by providing data collection gigs to young people who are actually consumers for these products and services sold by for-profit companies. They're also beneficiaries for services offered by non-profit organizations and government agencies. So why not get data directly from the people that you're targeting, from the locals in the area that you want to expand into or invest in? So for organizations, you can reach out to us by visiting rwazi.com and we'll be in touch and execute. For mappers, you can reach out to us by visiting our social media pages, and you'll see the directions on how to join and become a mapper from there.
Good evening and welcome everyone. Welcome Rwazi, welcome its CEO Joseph. Listening to the African youth talking to us about its links to the digital world is the objective of the talk. Parole à la jeunesse. It is a rendezvous of 10,000 coders from Monday to Friday at 7 p.m. Paris time, just before the daily expert webinar of 10,000 coders. We exchange with young people from one of the 54 countries from Africa. We ask them about their career paths and listen to what they have to say about the implications of the digital with employability and professional integration. Today is the 16th December. It is the third Thursday of the month. Destination Mauritius. I am Zakia Biora from Mauritius, Project Director of the Federation of Innovative and Numeric Activities in Mauritius, FINAM, which brings together the ICT professional associations of Mauritius, that is OTAM, MITIA, CCI France Maurice, to organize joint industry activities by pooling resources. The 4 activities are about regional and international cooperation, startups and innovations, and we are the country partner in Mauritius, for example, of one of the challenges such as Global Africa Startup Awards in Mauritius, on which we met our guest of today. Another one, hackathons and tech events. And the last one, capacity building aimed at encouraging young people, especially girls, to go digital. And on this axis, we are in line with the 10,000 Coders project. Before I give the floor to our guest, Joseph Retangengwa, let me briefly introduce Mauritius. The Republic of Mauritius is an island state of the Indian Ocean at around less than 1,000 kilometers at the east of Madagascar. The Republic includes the main island of Mauritius and the other outer islands like Rodrigues, Agalega, and Sambrando. Its capital is Port-au-Prince. Mauritius has emblematic symbols such as the dodo, the Siga music, well known for its mythical destination with its beautiful beaches. The island has a rich cultural, historical, and natural heritage that we invite you to discover. So you have some pictures in the screen. While the island is a popular tourist destination, the digital sector is one of the main economic pillars, symbolized by the cyber city located in the heart of the island, which currently houses the largest technopole, where are based renowned companies specialized in BPO and IT. Now I suggest that we discover the inspiring path of our young guest, a startuper, who is the founder and the CEO of the startup Roisy. Joseph, welcome among us. We have a brief introduction of you in the video before. Thank you for being there. Could you introduce yourself and tell us a few words about your path?
Yes, thank you so much, Zakia, for having me as a guest in today's session. And thank you, everyone behind the 10,000 Coders initiative. So my name is Joseph Rutakangwa. I'm from Mauritius right now. That's what I say. But I'm originally from Tanzania. I moved to Mauritius a while back as a student at the African Leadership University. So I got a corporate sponsorship from Pernod Ricard, a French company, to study, to do my undergrad at ALU in Mauritius. And at ALU, I met my current co-founder, Eric. And we worked on different ideas, which ended up being, folder startups. And eventually we came with Roisy. And the way we came with Roisy is we were doing consulting projects on the side as consultants for multinationals, which were coming into Africa. And we saw that the biggest problem at that time was that, every organization that's coming into Africa can't access on-ground data because there's no such thing. There's no tool or structure that any organization has put in place to harvest that kind of data, and governments and other institutional bodies don't have any such system. So we built Rwazi with the network of mappers who are unemployed but educated young people across the continent. Right now we have 10,000 mappers in 40 African countries, villages, towns, municipalities, and cities. They're mostly college graduates. They have smartphones. They have access to the internet, and they're ready to work. So the way it works, if you're an organization, let's say in Africa or in Europe or Asia or the US or wherever, you order the kind of data that you're looking for from developing markets. Right now we're starting with Africa. And then those young people in the geography that you specified get a notification to harvest that data. Of course, it comes with a brief and all that. So they go out there, they map, we call it mapping. They go out there, they map, and they get paid for the work that they've done. They get paid per every data collection point visit that they make. So it works like Uber from the mapper's perspective. They go out, collect data from a specific collection point, and get paid for verified data. We've been running 3 years now. We've been very successful. We are right now a profitable company. We've managed to grow to a big extent. Right now we have an office in the US and opening up a branch in India and all that next year. So we've had an exciting journey. It's been very challenging, but exciting overall.
What's a great path? And so if I understand your journey, you started your project here in Mauritius by meeting your co-founder here.
Yes.
And together you decided to start this startup.
Yes.
And why create a startup? Why didn't you apply for a job, for instance?
Yeah. So I was working as we were both consulting, but for different projects. Eric was consulting on projects in Cameroon and in Central African Republic. I was consulting on projects in East Africa and Southern Africa. But as an independent consultant, you earn more than an employee, yes, but your earnings are limited because you're not a corporation, so you can't scale, right? The reason I couldn't, I preferred working as a consultant rather than an employee is because I wanted autonomy, right? I wanted autonomy and being able to execute projects based on how I think. But that's a reason based on how working style. However, a deeper intrinsic reason is that I was fortunate enough, getting a corporate sponsorship to ALU wasn't my first sponsorship. I had been sponsored by the US government, by Harvard University, but I've gotten a lot of sponsorships. But if I look back, how many friends of mine I had in primary school in Uganda or in secondary school in Tanzania that have crossed over, quote unquote, right? That have had a successful life. They're few, right? And most of them and other Africans, they don't. It's not that they don't succeed because they're not smart. It's the success is difficult to to attain because of all the systemic barriers and all the challenges that are facing these poor countries. So I looked at myself, I was like, okay, if I'm lucky enough, if I've been privileged enough to be at a point where I can access investments, customers, and all this, it's only fair and it's only like the return on investment is justified if I go on and create jobs, right? So if I go on and get employed, it's just one person getting employed, one person getting a salary, and if I help, mostly maybe I'll help my family and that's it. But I won't be able to create a trickle-down effect to other young people in Africa, right? But if I create a business, I can work on increasing revenue, and as revenue goes up, I can employ other people and get many other young people to benefit from that kind of opportunity. And
it's more difficult. I can't lie. I can't tell someone, so drop everything you have and go on and become an entrepreneur. It's way more difficult, but it's way more fulfilling because right now I have, been able to see thousands and thousands of Africans from East Africa all the way to, Sierra Leone and Liberia and all those places earn an income because I made a choice, a couple of years ago, not to be an employee, but to go on and create jobs. So it's more fulfilling that way. And I believe right now, the return on the investment, all those guys who gave me scholarships and sponsorships, the return on their sponsorship is much, much higher because I've went on and created opportunities for others.
Yes, so it's a great mission that you give to yourself, indeed, to create also jobs, not only for yourself, but also for a lot of young people and young people in Africa. So very good for this. It's a big challenge.
Yes.
And as we are talking about challenge, you love challenges because you won an awards at the Global Startup Awards, which is the largest independent startup ecosystem competition, with a mission to find, recognize, connect the future shapers of the digital age from around the world. And there is a chapter for Africa, so GSA Africa was launching this year, and it is include all 55 African member states in this global network, and Mauritius forms part of the Eastern Africa Startup Awards, and where FINAM is the country partner for Mauritius. The originality of this competition framework is built to represent and involve all stakeholders, not only startup in several categories, but also venture capitalist, accelerator, incubator program, and co-working space. And for the startup, the categories are Startup of the Year, Best Newcomer, Agri-Tech, Women in Tech, and Commerce Tech. And in this category, your startup, Roisy, was one of the country winners in Mauritius. And 2 days ago, you won the Commerce Tech for the Eastern Africa Startup Awards. So let's see video about Roisy again, and then we will have your testimony, Joseph.
Sure.
Hello, Africa, Kampala, Cairo, Nairobi, Kigali, wherever you are. Africa's greatest resource are her young people, and over 200 million young people are looking for opportunities to grow their careers, businesses, and build communities. Razi shares that sentiment with you. We are elated to have you on board as a mapper. This is an opportunity for you to use your smartphone to become better and add value to some of Africa's biggest brands by mapping to provide on-ground data. Once you sign up, you will receive a confirmation email. Once the gigs get in, start right away. A dapper dressing and a confident demeanor is what you need to engage with people as you map. Submit your data and you will be paid after you have mapped at least 50 locations. You can pace yourself basing on the goals that you set, and the Mappers team will be here to support you through the journey. Map your way to growth today. Utilize our spaces on social media and Razi.com to get information on how you can become a better and more successful mapper. Decide with data today and map your way to growth.
Yes, Joseph, what does it represent for a startup Was
Yes.
it prepared for startup?
Yes, yeah, it was indeed a great honor to win the at the regional level. I remember, the biggest shock was this year, actually earlier this year. We were nominated at the global stage for People's Choice Awards. That was a shock. And the thing is, as a startup, I remember, when you're starting in the first 2 years, you need a lot of social credibility for you to close customers, and even get investment if you're looking for investment. And programs like the Global Startup Awards provide that opportunity for startups to be able to get recognition, and that recognition comes with social credibility, right? So get recognized, get featured in media, and that becomes your free marketing, because otherwise it's too expensive. And you get like a stamp of approval that helps you close customers, because people will be seeing you from that angle, and also close investment, because then it shows, at least to investors, that you're running a credible, or more, you have a solid business, at least solid business idea if you're starting. So for us, it has helped us so much. I remember in 2019, when we first won the Southern Africa Startup Awards, we started getting customers, in that, the customer acquisition rate went up from that season. And, it has been, these awards have been pumping that. So they're very, very important for startups, and also internally for team morale. When the team wins an award, it's so nice, and everyone cheers, and everyone feels that the work that they're doing is being recognized, outside, even in the circles of people who are not directly involved in the company. So yeah, it means a lot. It means a lot to companies.
So it is a big recognition, and it's provide you more credibility.
Yes.
Also, and when you are young, it's very important.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's very successful for this. So congrats again.
Thank you.
As we are at the end of this talk, Joseph, what would be your conclusion? What do you advise the youth for encouraging them to choosing IT or digital or innovation fields or orientation?
Yes. Well, I can honestly talk a lot on that phase, or this topic, but so I like most young people to understand the basics. So the basics are, the most valuable skill is sales, right? Because with sales, you can make revenue from anything. You can sell tomatoes, you can sell cars, you can sell shoes, you can sell chairs, you can sell software. With sales, you can sell anything. So you're sure to be able to make a living. But the second most valuable skill is programming. Why programming and not other, hardware engineering, or the likes, or building stuff? Is because with programming, you don't need a lot of resources to build something of value, right? All you need is a laptop, and access to internet. And with those two things, you can create a product, from an idea to a finished product, upload it on Play Store, or any other free platforms, and have people access it and use it, right? And nowadays, programming isn't, first of all, it's not difficult at all. I'm not a programmer at all, and I built the early versions of WAS, both the platform and the app. And all I did, I just used open source code. I had a software called Atom. I was using Atom to edit the code and make it do what I want. And then I used, for the app, I used that the one that allows you to do front end development. Then it handles the back end. So there isn't a lot of barriers for people to become programmers, and there isn't a lot of barriers for people to build digital products, right? And once you have a digital product, the reason you want to be to put emphasis on people learning programming skill, to having programming skills and building digital products, is because you want to increase the probability of you, whether you want to get a job, you want to increase the probability of getting a job, and whether you want to so I'll start with a job. So if you want to get a job, rather than going to employers don't trust that you have skills, let's say, right? and you have to prove that you know what you're doing and can deliver and all that. So programming is an easy way to do it, because you create a product, you launch it, you get people to use it, and then you go to a prospective employer with a finished product that already proves your capacity, right? So that's done. And then for entrepreneurship, investors don't trust that maybe you can build a good product, right? And maybe they don't trust that the product that you can build will be used in the market. So when you have programming skills, you go out there, you actually get the product done, you get it to market, it's $25 on Play Store, and you go to an investor with a finished product and people who are already, even if they're not paying customers, but you have people already using it, and then it's much, much easier then to get an investment that you're looking for. So it's very, very important for people to understand that we're in the digital age. Building digital products is easy, it's not difficult, and it's the way to go. Especially in Africa, I can tell you, all young Africans out there, there's a lot of digitization that needs to be done in Africa. Digitizing records, storing records, digitizing things like in government offices or other institutions, they still use handwritten forms or such for registration. They still don't have any system of tracking or monitoring progress and performance and communication and all that. So there's a lot of room to build products, and there's a lot of room to copy paste products that are already working in Europe and the US and China and whatever, and you can just copy paste them in your market, and you can become a market leader because no one is doing much about that. So I like what 10,000 Coders is doing, which is getting people trained in that area and getting them deployed to companies, and those who want to create ventures, they can create ventures. We need more of that in Africa so we can create a thriving digital economy.
Yeah, indeed, you focus on two main advisors: marketing, sales, and programming, where the youth do not need many resources, and they could make the job. They could make great products and sell it. So it's valuable advisors, Joseph. And what do you think about 10,000 Coders platform?
Yes, I think it's amazing, because the mission of creating coders, especially in developing countries, is very, very important, because we need that digital literacy to go up, and we need more digital products to speed up the movement, to speed up the economy, to get all the services running, and to create more jobs, right? So I haven't seen many industries that create jobs at a very, very aggressive speed like the digital industry. So this is like what 10,000 Coders is doing. The platform, what's providing for the youth, is of absolute essence. And I believe that where we're going, the continent depends on us, young people, right, to build digital products that add value to the economy and can push it forward. So I like what you guys are doing, and I'm happy to be part of it. I can help in any other way that you guys want.
Yeah, thank you. I think Douglas heard you, the president of 10,000 Coders you met before. Yeah, your advisors are fully aligned with what 10,000 Coders is doing. So
awesome.
Thank you for your
yes. We're all in the gig, creating opportunities world for young people especially in developing countries.
And for a young start-upper and entrepreneur, your testimony is very important, I think, as a role model this evening. So thank you for this. Yes, the 10,000 Coders indeed is a great opportunity to discover several areas of digital and extend their networks for the youth. On 10,000 Coders, the professionals from the African countries take the time to listen to these young people who have chosen to be accompanied by 10,000 Coders and his ecosystem. Young people regularly follow the daily webinars on digital, personal development, entrepreneurship. They have also the opportunity to prepare the test to obtain the digital passport, 10,000 coders, that validates a general culture of digital and accelerates the employability. Digital passport, an inclusive, scalable solution of digital culture, digital literacy, promoting the employability of African youth. Inclusive because everyone can take part to the test. There are no conditions of money, diploma, age, etc. Scalable because the platform could support millions of people at the same time in each of 54 countries of the continent. Hence, it aims to form by 2030 54 million passports. So we encourage Mauritian youth and others from the continent to join 10,000 coders, also experts to join 10,000 coders. Thank you again, Joseph, and congratulations to Razi.
Thank you for having me.
Again, thank you to take the time and the opportunity this evening to share your journey as a startup and entrepreneur. I think that you are one of the role models, very inspiring, and I hope that other young from African countries will follow your path. So we wish you and your team all the best.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. It was a pleasure to be here, and I'm happy for my story to inspire other young people to take on this journey and other adventurous paths.
And to conclude, warm thanks also to the team behind this organization: Roseline, Stephanie, Fatou, Johnny, Jenny, and Douglas. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Rendezvous next month. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello, Africa, Kampala, Cairo, Nairobi, Kigali, wherever you are. Africa's greatest resource are her young people, and over 200 million young people are looking for opportunities to grow their careers, businesses, and build communities. Razi shares that sentiment with you. We are elated to have you on board as a mapper. This is an opportunity for you to use your smartphone to become better and add value to some of Africa's biggest brands by mapping to provide on-ground data. Once you sign up, you will receive a confirmation email. Once the gigs get in, start right away. A dapper dressing and a confident demeanor is what you need to engage with people as you map. Submit your data and you will be paid after you have mapped at least 50 locations. You can pace yourself basing on the goals that you set, and the Mappers team will be here to support you through the journey. Map your way to growth today. Utilize our spaces on social media and Razi.com to get information on how you can become a better and more successful mapper. Decide with data today and map your way to growth.
To outwit and outpace, and where necessary, outfight the enemy, you need to deliver support advantage and increase equipment availability. However, your existing maintenance solutions can't deliver. Pega's Industry 4.0 prescriptive maintenance solutions help transform your maintenance processes. By utilizing process automation combined with data exploitation and AI, we orchestrate all required activities based on insights generated from sensor data. Harness the power of that sensor data and edge computing to generate better insights of equipment statuses. Use those insights to orchestrate logistics processes and engineering efforts to optimize equipment support. Automatically orchestrate processes for personnel, spares, facilities, and equipment. Pega's supply chain solutions are proven with defense and industry partners globally to maximize equipment availability. Transform your supply chain solutions. Bridge the availability gap with Pega.
Découvrez Tous, la nouvelle plateforme qui va révolutionner le secteur de la formation en Afrique. Une interface innovante, unique et pratique qui regroupe à la fois social media et digital learning pour apprendre sans limite. Rejoignez gratuitement Tous, le premier réseau social éducatif africain, et formez-vous grâce au contenu des meilleurs formateurs et des plus grandes écoles, quel que soit votre domaine ou votre passion. Participez à des quiz, des classes virtuelles et interagissez avec des experts. Repérez votre future école ou votre prochaine formation en ligne et abonnez-vous à vos pages préférées. Agrandissez votre communauté et donnez un coup de pouce à votre carrière. Suivez, likez, mais surtout apprenez sur touschère.com. Avec Tous, révélez votre talent.